gonna be rolling with Christina in this role. I want to be focused on how to train with someone who's smaller than you, and maybe not as physically strong as you, and how you can get a good training session out of it for both people. Okay, so this is how I approach typically rolling with someone smaller than me. So, slapping hands here. So, what I like to do is I like to focus on defense first. So, when I'm rolling Christina here, I let her take some of the initiative first. So I let her attack first, and I start to work my defense first here. So you see she's attacking my back. She's going for seat belts here. She's grabbing my arm. She's already putting me in a lot of trouble here, and I'm just working on calmly defending. If I get tapped, nobody cares. But if I get to work my escapes here, there's my favorite armbar escape here. I get out, and as soon as I get out, I'm looking to counterattack. So let's just jump back. There's a fun little sequence here to the start here. Lots going on. Christine is an awesome technical grappler, and she puts the pace on me right away. So she flanks me here. It's a turtle. I turtle up. I try to see if I can recover ground here. Nice and slow. She gets a nice claw grip. Circles behind. I try to work a stand-up escape here, but I'm not quite warm, so I don't really commit to it. She breaks me down, gets the seatbelt with an arm, traps my arm, and here I'm in trouble of getting back triangle. You can see my face here. I'm a little bit pressured. I make weird faces when I work escapes in these positions. I'm not fearing for my life here, but I definitely don't look well. Let's carry on here. So I try to deny her for connecting her feet. She switches to an armbar really quick, but I managed to keep my arm closed, trap her foot, and recover into kind of a quarter guard. She overcommits. I invert, and I'm looking to go straight into this tornado sweep position, where I'm on my shoulders here. And what I can basically do is I can start to pendulum this leg here, and I can look to break her out down out to this angle here, and slip this leg inside for saddle entry. I could also go for knee bar, but I prefer saddle in this situation here, so I get a chance to get on top. Okay, so notice how I was defending first. I looked for an escape. As soon as I found the escape, then I'm going into my attacks. And this is my philosophy, like in at least 9 out of 10 times when I'm rolling with someone smaller who's well, Christine is still very skillful, so I let her do her thing first, and then when I look for an exit, and then I go to my attacks. So I lock up the saddle here, break her down to a hip. She looks to turn out. I spin through. I'm looking to grab her foot, but she manages to escape. You see, I almost had her like in a calf slicer position for a moment there. So I get to my entry and I work for it, but I'm not trying to go for it 100%. Okay, it's important to know that the entry I'm going, when I go to the entry here, I basically go 100% for the entry here. It's not dangerous. I'm not crushing her. I'm actually on bottom, and I'm just focusing on getting good work with my off balance here and getting to the leg. Once I get to the leg, I can kind of decide, okay, do I want to really get this heel hook here, or am I more interested in just getting Christina to do defensive movements and then follow her through? So my main concern is not necessarily just getting the finish here. Of course, I could get the finish a lot easier if I just go like 100%, but there wouldn't be much training in that. If I'm going with someone way more competitive, it's closer to my weight, someone in the competition class, I'm gonna be pursue the attack more. But here, I'm more interested in just playing around. Okay, I want to get her defensive reaction. There's a roll. I roll through. I kind of go for it, 60%. As we roll out of bounds, I'm more concerned just resetting to make sure we're within the camera frame. She flanks me here. So we're out in same a turtle. She breaks me down here. And now I try to into the legs again. Kind of for the same position, but I'm a little bit late. My head doesn't get that deep. But she overextends and I shoot a triangle here. This is a cool little sequence here. So she goes through, I get my legs in the inside position, I spin through here. Look, and as she sprawls and extends her arm, I shoot a triangle. And here I got her dead to rights. Just smiling. Yep, that was set up. And we reset. So we're having fun. We're still doing technical jiu-jitsu, but I'm letting her work a little bit more, and I get to work more in my defensive positions. So I hope you can see the pattern already. Again, I don't fight her too hard in the pass. I try to work my recovery here. She's doing a good job. Going to a camping position here. Looking to switch to a knee cut. I'm being a little bit more defensive here. I don't want to give my guard away for free here. So I hope you get a sense of how I kind of pick and choose when I want to fight a little bit harder and when I want to give her some space. So we have a dynamic role, right? I'm not giving her everything for free, but also I'm not trying to just fight her 100% and not give anything away either. It's kind of an ebb and a flow, kind of like some would call maybe a flow roll, except not being too loose. There's kind of, I try to keep it dynamic between how much I want to let her work and then when it's my time to work. And I basically pick spots where it's going to be harder for me to work than her, so I let her get to better positions before I start to do my harder work. This way, she gets to practice actually working from good positions against people who are really experienced and skillful, right? So if she gets to an armbar, maybe if we were going real hard, real competitive, maybe I would never let her get to an armbar in that scenario. But now she gets to go to an armbar on a black belt and actually get to the arm and maybe even separate the arms and then get the resistance. So she gets to train like those later state scenarios of attacks. So she gets a lot of experience there. Where if she meets someone at her own level, she would definitely get the finish, and I get to practice escapes where if someone I have a black belt had my arm extended, I would probably not get the turnout escape right away. There's a bigger chance I would get tapped, but I can get to practice safer in a lower risk environment, and this way we both get better. I hope that kind of makes sense here. So I'm playing here with my butterfly hooks, looking to come on top. When I'm working on top here, I'm trying, because of the size difference, I'm not trying to crush Christina too much. I'm trying to be a little bit more movement focused. I let her actually enter my legs here. She does a great job putting my hands on the mat and taking my back here real quick. Both Christina and Natalia are really good at this sequence here, which is kind of a pain. I can promise you that I let her get to the X guard, but from the off balance to her taking my back, I was not trying to play easy. It just came on real quick. So you see me here playing more with inversions, trying to go to crab rides. She attacks my leg. I look to build up. Actually, I'm pummeling in a De La Hiva hook here. It's hard to see from this angle, but I actually pummel in a De La Hiva hook to push her in the stomach. This way I can take out my foot from the ankle lock, and I can look to counter with bolos or re-attack the legs. This is one of my favorite defenses from more open scenario. Here, I let her spin the leg and actually get to the saddle here. She does a great job of transferring. I clear the top leg, and again, I'm trying to build up, create a little bit more movement. So you see, one of the great positions where we can train where we're a little bit more equal, where we're rolling someone smaller, is in those double-seated positions, where we basically both have our butts on the mat, because in those situations, there's not really a lot of weight being thrown around. Here I'm kind of played around with a flying triangle, but I'm not really like jumping into it. Of course, that would be insane. I'm like 92, 93 kilos, so landing on her chest here would not be nice. So you see, I kind of keep my foot on the floor. I'm just playing. If someone, let's say it was someone my size, I would, and it was a little bit more competitive, I would have maybe jumped a little bit more into it. But I just go with the flow, and I actually finish with a high-risk guillotine here. Let's see that again. Kind of a fun little sequence. So she goes under, I spin around, I find the neck, punch my hand through, and there's the high wrist. You see, my foot isn't really connected well to her back, but it doesn't really matter with the high wrist, because my hand is all the way through. I'm blocking both her carotid arteries. I'm just really looking for chin-chest pressure, like her chin going down to her chest. And just controlling with this overhook to follow her through a roll. But the submission's pretty on here. She taps. Again, not really a bully submission as much. We actually just trained the move earlier in the class. I like to try to apply moves. I just taught people to make sure they work and to demonstrate to the students that they actually work. Here I'm kind of just entering the legs, coming up on an underhook. She does a great job spinning, going to a front headlock here. So you see, I do more of my work on bottom. When playing against someone smaller, I could go a little bit harder from bottom, because I'm not putting my weight on Christine here. So in that sense, I'm not really bullying her as much with my weight and strength from down here. Just manipulating her base. So I enter here, shin on shin. She balances out. I try to play a little bit going up to the half guard with an underhook. She counters, and I go for a see here. She does a great job cutting through. If we're talking technical stuff here, I should have taken my arm and gone to a single leg here. So I should have gone from here to behind the thigh. But I'm just flowing, going through the movement here. She gets me to a front headlock. From here, she shoots her arms deep like an anaconda grip here. Now here, to counter this, I'm taking my right hand here and I'm grabbing her tricep. And I'm looking to pass my left hand through and grab the tricep on the other side to kind of do with like an arm drag. And I want to circle to my right as I pop my head off to the left. So I go, 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 go. As my head pops out, you can see she takes an underhook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an overhook and I'm going to throw my leg on her back. Yep. So just grab here, throw my leg on her back. And from here you can actually do a hanging triangle where I put my leg over here. And I can actually, by posting my hand and being heavy with this leg, I can actually make this leg light here. And I can thread it through and set up a triangle. This is one of my favorite ways to set off triangles out of scrambles. Some people, I guess they call it like the hanging triangle concept. Something I learned first time I saw it on an instruction was Jeff Glover. He taught this. It's a really fun setup. It's kind of like it's basically like a flying triangle, but it's very safe because I'm stable on this hand. In this knee here, when I pinch it down, it holds me up, so I can just thread the leg through. So again, I'm not doing like anything dangerous where I'm just committing all my body weight flying towards my partner, because that would be irresponsible. If I land in the wrong way, she could get hurt. And also, I'm not selling this like 100%. It's the end of the round, so the reason why we stop here is because the timer rings. The round is over. Always lots of laughs. We're just having fun. Like, you can play around and still do technical jiu-jitsu, and I feel like this is just a fun way to train. It's how I spend most of my training. Actually, I'm not really competing at the moment. It's been like 5 years since the last time I competed. So when I go to train jiu-jitsu, most of the time I just want to have fun. I'm not really concerned with winning in that sense, but I'm always trying to develop skills. So I'm working on new moves, working to make old moves work, and I'm having fun in my training, which means basically trying to do as much jiu-jitsu as possible, in the sense of trying to train standing position, guard passing, defense, offense, submissions, escapes. I'm just trying to become a very well-rounded grappler, and I'm trying to have a lot of fun while I'm doing so. So I hope you can kind of get a sense from this role, how this how my training philosophy is, and I hope you get some inspiration to go and train with some smaller grapplers in your club. If you can become good friends with people who are smaller than you, like have some fun roles with them, you're guaranteed more training partners, and you're guaranteed to have someone to train with when you're injured. This is a huge point for me. Last year I hurt my LCL in my left knee, and that meant that I had like a good 4 to even 5 months where I couldn't really train too hard. I still wanted to stay active, and to stay active I had to train with small people where I knew they were safe, like they were not trying to kill me. And if we got to a position where my knee was compromised, I could always basically just push them off. And if I hadn't made good friends with those small people, if they weren't like interested in training with me, I would either have to train with people who were bigger and maybe also more irresponsible, where there's a bigger chance I could get injured, or maybe I wouldn't be able to train at all. Maybe I would only be able to maybe drill and just have one training partner, and that would be really depressing. So I owe the smaller grapplers in the gym a lot. So I really try to make sure that I'm a fun training partner they want to train with, they feel safe training with, and I try to teach them cool moves, answer the questions, try to help, because one, they're my friends, I want to help them, and two, I want to make sure that I have training partners I can keep training with as I get older, as maybe I get injured again, that I have someone I feel safe with, and they feel safe with me. So if you have to take away any points from this video, is make friends with the smaller grapplers, give them something to work with, and make your roles with them fun. Try to still make it about doing good jiu-jitsu, but give away some positions and to work your defense, and this way the role becomes more equal. If they tap you, who gives a shit? Just tap. I get tapped sometimes by white belts, blue belts, because I'm trying to work on a submission defense or whatever, and it doesn't work. Well, as long as I don't get hurt, who cares? Yeah, stay tuned for more. Let me know in the comments what type of role commentary you would like to see next. If you want to see something more competitive, I can try to see if I can record a role with some of the competition class guys who are tough as nails. I can try to get a role with my coach and one of my best buddies, Casper, who's a European champion. That would just be me basically getting humiliated, but I'm up to show some different types of roles. So let me know what you want to see, and thank you for watching.